Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom. Yes, look at it. It's kind of slight breeze. Can you guys tell? Oh, look at them. They're invisible. And I thank the YouTubers or the kingdom followers that pointed out that they weren't there at the end of the video. That means they woke up from their nap from watching the video. Perfect timing. Okay, it's Friday and we're plus 21 at 8 o'clock. Yes, plus 21. But it feels like plus 23. Okay? And on the yo-yo scale, that's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is room temperature when I grew up, but feels like 73. Okay? I'll scroll this. No, I gotta go this way because there's a slight breeze. You can't tell by the flags, eh? I can tell because it's blowing in my wind or my beard. Okay? Oh, touching the Lily Tomlin mic. Okay, today we got a heat warning. Because yesterday we finished out the day with it being hot. And I actually turned the air conditioner on in the house. Yes, I have air conditioning because I grew up in the south. And I made sure that every house I own has one. Even if I only use it a couple hours a day up here. It's the thought that counts. It's like putting ice in your drink, eh? It's only there for a short time. All right. But yeah, yesterday we were plus 30. But feels like plus 86 Fahrenheit. So that's a day off. And they're forecasting a heat warning for us today too. So that means it's going to be a day off. Okay? All right. But also too, Johnny's on his way. Yes. That's why we have... Oh, we'll have to go this way. Get everybody dizzy. No, we're not going in the same direction. So you're getting undizzy. So I've moved the book bird from blocking off the driveway so the locals aren't in my yard turning around. And also too, that is the mentality of the people of WHO-ville. Yes, mow your grass, clean up the grass clippings, and then take it down to the tracks and dump it. Yes, they figured the tracks is a dumping ground, you know. But there's some of us that live down by the tracks in a 10 by 30 shack in a gated community. We don't appreciate that. But the staff was able to take a shitty situation or people's negligence and make it better. So she grabbed the grass clippings. Oh, these lips need some vodka. Yeah, it's a day off, so we will be drinking. All right. So she took the grass clippings and put it on her potato plants and everything like that. But that's the mentality of WHO-ville. They'll never succeed. They'll never be prosperous or popular around the world because, you know, that's the way they are. You know, make my yard look better. You know, there's only, what, 3 or 4 people in WHO-ville that actually mow their grass. So it's kind of obvious where the grass came from. That's like drinking Alexander Keith's beer and then throwing it out the can out the window of your car as you drive down the highway. I wonder who is drinking that. So it's the dead giveaway. But that's why the WHO-ville will never prosper. But Johnny's on his way. So I have to go down there to unload him because the yard's too small and cluttered up. He can't get in with the trailer. I have the loader ready over here, right? Okay, this is the problem we had. We had to order dog food from the south because we just came up to our 6-month time to go out. So on June 27th or the end of June, we always go to Thompson to grocery shop and pick up supplies and dog food. But we couldn't. Like, we were down to our last bag of dog food for the 7 guard dogs, okay? So we had to pace it evenly. All right, plus it got hot so they didn't eat. Plus we gave them lots of that Chicago fry bread. We doubled the amount we give them. Because we couldn't risk going out to get dog food. Because if that fire with the wind jumped the road, we would have been trapped out in Thompson and couldn't get back like in 2000, okay? So we asked Sir Rodney on Monday to get us dog food. So Sir Rodney went to the Walmart, used his credit card and bought us dog food, and then he shipped it through Westrans, okay? So he loaded it up on the pallet and shipped it Gardwine. But Gardwine didn't have a truck yesterday because of the fire and all that kind of stuff or whatever. So the dog food left Thompson this morning at 4:15 a.m. to be in Grief Rapids so Johnny can switch the loads around to deliver the freight, okay? The only thing that's saving Grief Rapids and us here in WHO-ville, okay, is there's no wind. So this is day 2 with a slight breeze or slight wind. So that means the fire's not moving. If that wind had stayed up like in Saskatchewan, Wyoming, for the USA, friends, okay, we would have kissed these 2 towns goodbye. Yeah, so Johnny's bringing us the dog food this morning, so we'll unload him back there, okay? So everybody says shipping it from the south, that costs a lot of money. Yes, it does, and it went on Sir Rodney's visa, okay? But the cost for me to travel out just to get dog food or to do other means, this is cheap. So it was a set cost, set freight, set everything to the end of the world. If I went out, I would have burnt $200 in gasoline and fast food, because you always stop at Subway or A&W or whatever. We don't go to McDonald's. Oh man, those burgers are too small for the amount of money you pay. So you look at $200 just for gas and meals, just to drive, and then you're going to bounce the book burb over that road. You probably broke something too, so there's wear and tear. So the price we paid, or Sir Rodney paid on his credit card to get us the dog food, is cheap compared to getting trapped out in the outside world. So when the fires die down and we know they're not going to close the road or a chance of closing the road, then we can travel to Thompson and purchase our 6 months supply. Like, we need ass wipe, we need paper towel, we need salt, we need sugar, we need coffee, all those bulk items that we buy down in Thompson, okay? But that's every 6 months we go out, okay? So we went out in January. In January, we had a hot day or a warm day. It was like really warm. So we woke up, it was warm. We left at 4 in the morning. We were back at 4 in the afternoon. So that tells you, for us to travel, 300 kilometers, that should be 3 hours driving. So 300 there, 300 back. So that's 6 hours driving. And then you're only in the store running in just like, married sex, in and out, and it's done. You're gone 12 hours because it's 4.5 hours to travel that road. So you got 9 hours of travel and 3 hours of shopping, and that's quickly. And you're only spending like $2,000 to $3,000, and basically it's $1,000 an hour when you shop. And the bookworm is being short. It's over there, okay? It's $1,000 short. So we have to purchase certain items, because it's too short. It's $1,000 too short. So we have to regroup, okay? But that's the joys of living remote. And it'll be in my book, which will be on Amazon, seeing how I got blocked and banned from living off grid. Oh, I just shake my head. That's the mentality of people. You start speaking the truth, you get, how would you say, banished to the end of the world. Oh, unreal. Well, I better go get ready because I think I can hear Johnny.
Friday morning here in WHO-ville, gonna be a hot one, so starting off the day by making some Chicago fry bread for the dogs. Once these are done, I'll drop them off, grab the list and whatever else my dad has in the kingdom, and go shopping at the store here in WHO-ville.
Well, Johnny came through. Here's the dog food from Sir Rodney. Excellent. Now Johnny can go deliver the whole trailer load of freight.
A little windy here in the kingdom this morning, but look what we got delivered. A full pallet of dog food here from Sir Rodney at Westrans. Thank you and Paul very much. Our dogs appreciate it. And now it's time to cut it open and unload it all. My dad hauled it all from the back, and now I get to haul it all inside. Sir Rodney and Paul from Westrans wrapped this thing pretty good. Nothing is wet as I can see. Now it's time to unpackage it and haul it all inside. Got it all unpackaged. Now it's time to haul it all into the house, up that ramp and into the back of the house. And of course my dad had to disappear when the heavy lifting starts. I got my bag for the house dogs at the WHO-ville. Alright, let's get this done. Alright, just got the last bag here. And for reference, these are heavy. Those are 18 kgs. They're not light. Got her all put inside. Even have it labeled there so we know when we got it. Thank you very much, Sir Rodney and Paul from Westrans. Very appreciated. Since it is Canada Day weekend here, have to treat ourselves to some beer. And we also got some flags and a little thing for my dad here to wear.
Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and we got things fixed up here. We got the flags back up there. Look at that. We painted the pipes because the pipes are rusty, and he's getting the flags dirty when they get all wrapped up. Except for the Alaskan flag It doesn't get wrapped up because that's an independent state to the United States of America. As you can see, I got my muscle shirt on because it's getting hot. Yes, it's getting way too hot. Yes, now I feel like Blackie Lawless when he was blind in Texas singing that song. Oh, I better turn. It's getting windy here. But we're getting things organized. You know, the boss is such an asshole, okay? But he's actually a nice guy in the end. Look what he bought us. Ooh, he told us to relax this afternoon and have a bottle and drink and enjoy. You know, it's the thought that counts. They may be small, but it's the thought that counts. That's what I told the wife on our honeymoon. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But that's what the staff and I will be enjoying this afternoon. But we were working away slowly, but it's kind of a day off because it's too hot to do anything. All right, I better go have some lunch and something to drink.
End of the day here in WHO-ville, and it's a hot one. So to finish my day up, I put my AC in, but to put my AC in, I had to knock the window out that was here. But that's okay because these windows all have to be replaced with the new ones we have in the kingdom. All right, time to go drink some beer and enjoy the evening.
Okay, 9 o'clock in the kingdom, and I'm still working. Yes, so the video tonight will be a little late, and you'll find that out when I load it up. Okay, back in 1984, I purchased this 37 Dodge hot rod truck right here. It was all smashed up, it was rolled, and in a couple accidents, and I bought a piece of junk, okay? All right, so when I was building this truck in 1984, I was driving a 67 Chevy. Okay, to go to high school and stuff while I was building that 37 Dodge hot rod, I was driving a 67 Chevy. It was a rust bucket, it was white, and I got some doors off of a red truck, so I painted them with the primer, okay? My dad made me hand sand it or power sand it, and then we used the spray gun and sprayed it with the primer and everything like that. So that was big back in the day. For traction in the 67, seems how the 37 Dodge was in the shop being built, we put the box for the 37 Dodge in the 67 Chevy. Okay, so to drive the 67 Chevy back and forth to school and stuff, Dad made sure we had good knobby tires or whatever, and we even ran the knobbies on the front. Like, they weren't the good ground grips or all-season radios back then. Dad was a college instructor, and when we left our jobs in the city of Brandon and had to travel 15 miles out to the Pink House, we had to have the best tires because the Trans-Canada Highway, the snowstorms and everything like that, and the wind, oh yes, the wind. So Dad made sure of that. So we never paid much attention to the 67 Chevy till I wrote the Naughty Natalie book series. And it had the big back window, which is right there. So if there was 4 people in the cab, the 4th person had to duck down. So that usually was one of the ladies putting their head on your lap, okay, so you can take it from there, okay. So they usually check to make sure your zipper or your belt buckle was done up or undone or whatever. Okay, so that was high school. And I drove the truck in the winter when the 37 Dodge, well, I graduated school and we were working, so I was driving this truck in the winter, okay. So here's the original motor that was in that 67 Chevy that I had back in high school. All right, my dad put it in another vehicle, and then I got the vehicle after his death. All right, so then I need a film trucks, okay? Because if my books, the Naughty Natalie series, becomes a film, it's easier to present Hollywood 2 vehicles. There's the 37 Dodge, and there's the second 37 Dodge, okay? So you have 2 hot rod trucks, and then you have 2 67 Chevys, okay? And the key to it is I spent a year trying to find a 67 Chevy, but everybody on the internet in Manitoba and everybody jerked me around. So I am so lucky, because look at that promo bike, $42,000, and I got screwed. No Vaseline, nothing on my ass, and I got screwed. So I would have been screwed. So I got tired of these people in Manitoba, so I bought this truck. It's a 68. Okay, that's what I bought. It has the big back window. All right. So I figured, okay, it's a 68. We're going to turn it into a 67. It had a small block Chevy in it, the 283. It was an automatic. I didn't care because we need a truck and I need something to drive because I might as well make a film truck and drive it because we got rid of that head hanger. Okay, and another thing too with the 67, there's no park lights or in the side marker lights, okay? And the 68 had it, okay? So it's over there, we painted it over, okay? So when I was got called over to Grief Rapids to do a service call, the fellow I was fixing the truck for He says, I told him I was going to Alberta. That's why all the tools and everything was in the book, Burp. And he says, well, I got a 67 Chevy if you want it. Okay. So I needed clutch parts. So I went to this house to look at it, and it's the 67 Chevy with the big back window, and it had a 6-cylinder, 3 on the tree. Exactly what I drove in high school. So the motor came out of here. It's up and running. And we put it over here because we took the V8 out. Okay. So now we have this one here. It's actually a 69 because I'm a man of my word. I bought this truck in Alberta. Most people would have told the guy, give me my money back, screw you. But no, I bought this truck from a fellow in Alberta. His family had been following the King of Obsolete, and he bought all my books in the series. So I returned the favor. I'm a man of my word, and I honored my agreement. So we drove out to Alberta, and we flat towed this back last September, knowing that it has a V8 and an automatic, but that's okay. We're going to put a 6-cylinder in, and the automatic will work out good, because if these film trucks are used, actors can't drive standards, right? So then they can do the filming with the actor driving this automatic. So then we get it back to the kingdom, we find out it's a 69. Yeah, so we just have to change the grill and a few more things, but the main thing is we can handle it. Okay, so all these years later, I'm getting smart. We cut the cross member out here, okay, just like we did back in 1984 to put this 6-cylinder motor in, okay? But back in 1984, we're using the oxyacetylene welder and a coat hanger to weld it back in. Plus the gap wasn't that big because we're using a hacksaw. Okay, today in the modern world, or 38 years later I think it is, or 39, we used the chop saw blade in there, or better known as zip cut, and then we used the MIG welder. Okay, so we MIG welded it, and we put the feeder rod in here, which was a 3/32 7018 rod that had been, the flux had come off, okay? So one of the main things my dad made sure, because back in the 80s, if you could get a hold of an electronic ignition, you were living on, that was what you wanted. So I remember Dad finding this in a wrecked car, and we installed it because the points and condensers were coming passe. So this truck, or this motor, went through lots, and now I get to do it again, but as a retired old guy. Okay, I've made one hell of a mess, but we have to make sure we change out the parts. So the 67 gets the original 67 motor with the 3 speeds on 3 on the tree. And then this one over here, we have to get the 6-cylinder out of this one to fit, and get it to fit in here. So it's a V8, so we had to change a lot of things. So I was struggled today, but I'm glad I did it today side by side, because I could walk back and forth, interchange the parts, see my mistakes and learn. Especially too, I don't know if we can see it here. I got a mess here, and we'll clean it up before I go in and make a video. All right, but seeing how this was an automatic with a V8, and we're not changing dry shafts and all that stuff, we just bolted it up. So we moved everything forward. So the rod and the fan is pretty tight, but that's okay. But we found out when we went to bolt the 6-cylinder exhaust on, it was a little tight. So we made some improvisations. But it should work out, and we're quite pleased. I think with the motor being forward, it won't affect anything or anything like that, unless, you know, I'm playing the fall guy and trying to jump and get airborne and balance the truck. But I think it'll work out pretty good. Okay, we'll do a selfie here so you guys can see how dirty I got, okay? Also too, we splashed the paint on using brushes and rollers, okay? Up here in the north, we can't spray paint or do body work because it's too expensive. Like, to get the paint up here, the shipping costs, being hazardous material and everything, is just ludicrous. Plus, there's a great chance in the 10 months of the year they could freeze during shipping. So what we did was we splashed the paint on, and then these trucks can go down south. I'll have all the body work, everything done, okay? And then the guy can go to a body shop, they can power sand it, spray it, and make it look good like it was back in high school, okay? So that's why we splashed the paint on. It's also too as a protective coating. My dad would get carried away sanding and painting and using the 800 grit sandpaper, and then put the vehicle outside under a tarp, and then the tarp would blow away and it would rust and everything. And then you'd lose interest in the project, and then I get it. Yeah, so here we are. But that's the main thing too, is to get these things in the colors, to show the film people that these are the trucks from the Naughty Natalie book series, okay? We'll do the interior shots and tell you more details and stuff like that, but we're really hoping to get them up and running for the Canada Day or July 4th Day, because we want to have a little 2-car parade. Yeah, 2 cars, 2 parades. All right, so let's do a dirt here. Okay, see how dirty I got with my muscle shirt on? We didn't stop, okay? A muscle shirt is like a push-up bra. It doesn't come with boobies and it doesn't come with muscles. So if you don't have anything to push up or fulfill your muscle shirt, oh well, too bad, so sad. But it was hot today and we went right through, we didn't stop, and I got the air conditioner going on in the house. So I'll freeze my tushy off or open the windows when I go to make the video. So we'll do our standard scroll this way to see what's going on here. We got a beautiful sunset. I don't know where the thunderstorm is. If we were this hot, it was clouding over, we should have had a good thunder boomer, but those also start fires. So maybe we're good to have a nice relaxing evening. Also too, we have no co-workers, the sandflies, the mosquitoes, the ants, and the horseflies. I don't know where they are today because I just kept working away and nobody pestered me, which was nice. Okay, so we got things lined up here for the Canada Day celebrations and stuff like that. So we got, that's why the vehicles are lined up. We cleaned in front of the tank shed, okay, and with the King of Obsolete. And the flag poles have been painted. We painted them red again so the flags aren't rusting. So we should have a good parade tomorrow. But we got to get these 2 trucks finished. We might have a late parade. We're not sure. But WHO-ville will have their parade in the morning through the afternoon. So they make lots of noise and stuff like that. So we can't film during that time because the dogs bark and everything like that. So we kind of learned our lesson on that. Plus Dick went south. He headed south down to Thompson. So he's probably getting the oil changed on the helicopter. And he's probably at Boston Pizza enjoying steak, a good steak dinner and drinks, which is nice because he's not tormenting me. All right, so there's the flags. The sun's in my eyes. Let's go walk the dogs and drink some more beer. Yeah, I'm still vertical and I don't have a slur. So it must have been hot because my body was absorbing the beer, not giving me the, how would you say, the dizzy wizzies or whatever. Okay, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, make a video. Talk to you later.